The big room was quiet, too quiet. Jinha sat in the back row and watched the alien judges. Their strange faces looked down at him and the other humans. The Galactic Council had made their choice. Humans were done for. The tall alien with 4 arms stood up. His name was something Jinha could not say. The creature's voice was like metal scraping on stone. "Humans are new to space," the alien said. "You do not know our ways. You are not smart enough for real work." Jinha felt his hands make fists. Around him, other humans looked angry too. But they had to stay quiet. They had no choice. "We give you Sector 7 Delta," the alien went on. "You will clean up old ships. You will break apart metal. You will do this work and nothing else." Another alien laughed. This one looked like a giant bug. "The trash sector is perfect for trash people," it said. "Maybe in a few hundred years you will learn something useful." The room filled with alien laughter. Jinha wanted to stand up and shout. He wanted to tell them that humans were not trash. But the guards had big guns. And Earth needed this deal, even if it was a bad one. Harin sat next to him. She was the best engineer on their ship. Her face was red with anger. "They think we are stupid," she whispered. "Let them think that," Jinha whispered back. "It will make this easier." The meeting ended. The aliens walked away, still laughing. The humans were left alone with their new life. They would live in a place where old spaceships went to die. They would sort through garbage that nobody else wanted, but Jinha was not sad. He was excited. 3 days later, their ship flew toward Sector 7 Delta. Jinha stood by the big window and watched space go by. Stars looked different out here, older, more tired. "There it is," Harin said. She pointed ahead. Jinha saw it and his mouth fell open. The scrapyard was huge. It went on forever. Old ships floated in space like dead whales. Some were as big as cities, others were broken into pieces. All of them were full of technology that humans had never seen before. "Look at all of this," Harin said. Her voice was soft with wonder. "These ships are from 12 different alien races?" "Maybe more." Quan joined them at the window. He was young but smart. He had studied alien technology his whole life. "That big one there," he said, "that is a Krillian battleship. They stopped making those 1,000 years ago. And that one with the weird shape? That is from the hegemony. Their weapons could destroy planets." Jinha smiled. "The aliens think they are punishing us. They gave us their old junk and told us to clean it up? But this is not junk," Harin said. "This is treasure." "Exactly," Jinha said. "They gave us the best technology in the galaxy. They just forgot that humans are good at fixing things." Their ship landed on a big piece of metal. It used to be part of a space station. Now it would be their new home. Other human ships landed nearby. Soon, there were 5,000 humans living in the scrapyard. The first few days were hard. They had to make air to breathe. They had to find water. They had to build places to live. But humans were good at surviving. They always had been. Jinha walked through their new camp. Families were living inside old alien escape pods. Children played with broken robot parts. Engineers took apart weapon systems to see how they worked. "This is amazing," Harin said. She held up a small device. "This is a power cell from a Vortex ship. It still has energy after sitting here for 50 years. On Earth, our batteries die after 1 day. What else have you found?" Jinha asked. "Everything," she said. "Shield generators that can stop laser beams. Engines that can go faster than light without using fuel. Computer systems that think like living things." The aliens threw away technology that Earth scientists can only dream about. Quan ran up to them. His clothes were dirty, but his eyes were bright. "You have to see this," he said. "I found something incredible." He led them to a huge ship that was half buried in metal debris. The ship was dark and empty. But when they went inside, their lights showed something wonderful. "This is the engine room," Quan said. "But look at how it is built." The aliens who made this ship, they thought about energy in a completely different way. They did not just make power. They made power that could change and grow. Harin touched the walls. Strange symbols glowed under her hands. The ship is still alive, she whispered. The computer system is sleeping, but it is not dead. Jinha felt something he had not felt in years. Hope, real hope. The aliens made a mistake, he said. They thought they were burying us in their garbage, but they gave us the tools to become something new. Over the next few weeks, more humans arrived, scientists, engineers, soldiers, farmers. All of them had been sent to the scrapyard. All of them had been told they were not good enough for real work, but humans had always been good at proving others wrong. Jinha stood on top of their new city 1 month later. It was built inside the shell of an ancient alien warship. Human children ran through corridors that used to hold weapons of war. Human families lived in rooms where alien soldiers had once slept. Harin and Quan joined him. They looked out at the scrapyard. Everywhere, humans were working. They were taking apart old ships. They were learning how alien technology worked. They were building new things from old parts. The aliens think we are cleaning up their mess, Harin said. We are. Jinha said, but we are also doing something else. What? Quan asked. Jinha smiled. It was not a nice smile. It was the smile of someone who had been underestimated for too long. We are getting ready to show them what humans can really do, he said. They gave us scrap. Let us see what we can build with it. In the distance, a human work team started up an alien engine. It had been broken for centuries, but human hands had fixed it. The engine roared to life, and its light lit up the darkness of space. The aliens had made their choice. Now it was time for humans to make theirs. 5 years had passed since the humans came to the scrapyard. The place looked completely different now. What used to be floating junk was now a living city. Humans had built homes, schools, and workshops from alien ship parts. Children who had never seen Earth played in rooms that used to hold alien weapons. Jinha walked through the main street of New Haven. That was what they called their biggest settlement. The street was carved from the inside of a massive alien warship. Shop owners sold food from stalls made of spaceship metal. Workers carried tools that no human had ever dreamed of. Jinha! A voice called out. He turned and saw Quan running toward him. Quan was taller now and stronger. Living in the scrapyard had changed all of them. The work was hard, but it made them tough. You need to see what we found, Quan said. His eyes were bright with excitement. Harin thinks it might be the biggest discovery yet. They walked to the edge of the settlement. There, human workers were taking apart a ship that was bigger than a mountain. The ship was so old that nobody knew which aliens had built it. Its hull was black as space and covered in strange symbols. Harin stood on a platform next to the giant ship. She was directing teams of workers. Some were cutting metal, others were studying computer screens. All of them looked like they were having the time of their lives. What did you find? Jinha asked. Harin turned to him. Her face was dirty, but she was grinning like a child with a new toy. This ship is not just big, she said. It is smart. Really smart. The computer system is more advanced than anything we have seen. She led them inside the ship. The corridors were huge. A giant could walk through them without bending down. But the walls were covered in technology that hummed with power. Look at this, Harin said. She touched a panel on the wall. Lights came on all around them. The ship has been dead for maybe 1,000 years. But when I connected our power source to it, everything started working again. That is impossible, Quan said. Alien technology does not work with human power systems. It does now, Harin said. I learned how to make them talk to each other. Human computers, alien computers, it does not matter. They are all just machines. They walked deeper into the ship. The engine room was as big as a football field. Giant machines filled the space. Some looked like alien technology that Jinha recognized. Others were completely new. These are not the original engines, he said. No, Harin said. I have been experimenting. I took engines from 5 different alien ships and put them together. Then I added some human technology to control them. She showed them a control panel. It had buttons and switches from different alien races, but it also had parts that were clearly human-made. Wires and circuits were connected in ways that should not work. "Does it work?" Jinha asked. "Watch this," Harin said. She pushed a button. The engines came to life. The sound was like thunder, but also like music. Power flowed through the ship. The lights got brighter, the air got warmer. Jinha could feel the ship waking up around them. "How much power is this making?" Quan asked. "Enough to run our entire settlement for a year," Harin said. "And this is just one engine room. The ship has 6 more. Jinha stared at the machines. He was starting to understand something important. "You are not just fixing alien technology," he said. "You are making it better. We all are," Harin said. "Every human in the scrapyard is learning. We take apart alien machines and figure out how they work. Then we build new machines that work even better." They left the engine room and walked to another part of the ship. This room was full of weapons. Laser cannons, missile systems, and things that Jinha could not even name, but like everything else, they had been changed. "The aliens who built these weapons were good," Harin said, but they were not creative. They built each weapon to do one thing. "We have learned how to make weapons that can do many things." She showed them a laser cannon that had been connected to 3 different power sources. "This weapon can fire regular laser beams, or it can fire plasma bolts, or it can create an energy shield." The aliens never thought to combine different technologies like this. Quan was looking at everything with wide eyes. "Harin, do you realize what this means?" "What?" "We are not just learning alien technology," he said. "We are creating new technology. Technology that even the aliens have never seen." Jinha felt a chill run down his spine. He was starting to understand what they had become. The aliens had sent humans to the scrapyard to clean up garbage. But humans had done something else. They had learned. They had adapted. They had evolved. "How many people are working on projects like this?" he asked. "Everyone," Harin said. "Every settlement has workshops. Every family has someone who knows how to fix alien machines. The children who were born here understand this technology better than we do." As if she had called them, a group of children ran into the room. They were young, maybe 10 or 12 years old, but they moved through the alien technology like they had been born to it. "Miss Harin," one of them called out, "we got the shield generator working." The child held up a device that looked like a small metal ball. When she pressed a button, a blue light surrounded her. Jinha reached out to touch her, but his hand hit something solid. The light was actually a force field. "Where did you learn to do that?" Jinha asked. The girl looked confused. "I just figured it out," she said. "It was not hard." The other children nodded. To them, alien technology was not strange or difficult. It was just tools to play with. Jinha, Harin, and Quan walked back toward the settlement. The sun was setting, but the scrapyard never got dark. Too many human projects were running. Too many workshops had their lights on. Too many people were working through the night. "The aliens made a mistake," Jinha said. "Just one?" Harin asked. "They thought that giving us their old technology would keep us busy and out of the way," Jinha said. "But they gave us something else. They gave us the tools to become better than them." "What do you mean?" Quan asked. Jinha stopped walking. He looked out at the scrapyard. Everywhere humans were working. They were building. They were creating. They were becoming something new. "The aliens are stuck," he said. "Each race only knows their own technology. The Vorthek only understand Vorthek machines. The Krillians only understand Krillian weapons. But we understand all of it," Harin said. She was starting to smile. "More than that," Jinha said. "We can make it work together. We can take the best parts from every alien race and combine them. We can create things that none of them ever imagined." In the distance, a human workshop was testing a new engine. The engine roared to life, and its light was brighter than any star. It was not an alien engine anymore. It was something new. Something human. Something that would change everything. Commander Zixtel had been a Galactic Council patrol officer for 30 years. He had seen many strange things in space, but nothing had prepared him for what his sensors were showing him now. "Sir," his communications officer said, "we are getting readings from Sector 7 Delta that do not make sense." "What kind of readings?" Zixtel asked. His 4 eyes focused on the screen. "Energy signatures that should not exist," the officer replied. "And sir, the debris fields are gone." "Gone? What do you mean gone?" "I mean they are not there anymore. 3 solar systems worth of scrap metal. All of it is missing." Zixtel felt his stomach drop. The scrapyard was supposed to be full of old ships and broken technology. It had been that way for 1,000 years. Humans had been sent there 10 years ago to clean it up. But they were supposed to be sorting garbage, not making it disappear. "Set course for the human settlement," he ordered. "We need to see what they have been doing." The patrol ship jumped to hyperspace. When it came out near the scrapyard, Zixtel could not believe his eyes. Where there used to be floating junk, there was now a massive space station. It was bigger than most planets. And it was clearly not built by any known alien race. "Sir," his weapons officer said, "I am detecting something approaching us." "What is it?" "I do not know, sir. It is big, really big. But it is not showing up on our main sensors." Zixtel looked out the window. At first he saw nothing. Then the stars seemed to bend and twist. A shadow moved across space. Something huge was out there, but it was almost invisible. Then the shadow became solid. The ship that appeared in front of them was like nothing Zixtel had ever seen. It was massive, easily the size of a city, but it moved like a small fighter craft. Its hull was covered in armor that seemed to shift and change. Some parts looked like Krillian biometal. Other parts looked like hegemony energy shields. But it was all wrong. The technologies should not work together. "This is impossible," his science officer whispered. The alien ship tried to scan the human vessel, but their sensors could not get a clear reading. The ship seemed to be made of technology from a dozen different races, but it was also something new, something that had never existed before. "Open a communication channel," Zixtel ordered. The screen in front of him flickered. Then a human face appeared. It was a man with dark hair and calm eyes. He looked completely relaxed, as if giant alien warships appeared in front of him every day. "Hello," the human said. "I am Jinha. Welcome to our home." "What is that ship?" Zixtel demanded. "This is the Indomitable," Jinha replied. "We built it." "That is impossible. Humans do not have the technology to build something like that." Jinha smiled. It was not a mean smile, but it was not friendly either. "You are right. Humans did not have that technology. But you gave it to us." Before Zixtel could respond, more ships appeared around his patrol vessel. Each one was different, but they all had the same impossible design. They were built from alien technology, but they were clearly human-made. "How many ships do you have?" Zixtel asked. "Enough," Jinha said. On the bridge of the Indomitable, Jinha ended the communication. Harin and Quan stood beside him. The bridge around them was amazing. It combined the best features from every alien race they had encountered. But it was also completely human in its design. "They look scared," Harin said. "They should be," Quan replied. "They have no idea what we have become." Jinha watched the alien patrol ship on his screen. He could see other alien vessels approaching. Word was spreading through the galaxy. The humans in the scrapyard had built something that should not exist. "Captain," one of his officers said, "we are receiving a transmission from the Galactic Council. They are demanding that we surrender our ships." "What should we tell them?" Jinha asked. "Tell them no," Harin said. "Tell them to come and take them," Quan added. Jinha thought for a moment. Then he smiled. "Tell them we would like to talk." 3 days later, a fleet of alien ships arrived at the scrapyard. There were vessels from 12 different races. All of them were armed. All of them were ready for war. The aliens expected to find a small group of humans with 1 or 2 ships. Instead, they found a human fleet that made their own ships look like toys. Admiral Throck commanded the alien fleet. He was a Vorthak, the same race that had first sent humans to the scrapyard. He looked at the human ships and felt something he had not felt in centuries: fear. "Those ships are built from our own technology," he said to his officers. "But they are not our ships. Should we attack?" his weapons officer asked. "With what?" Throck replied, "Look at them. Those ships are using technology from every race in the galaxy. They know all of our weaknesses." The human fleet moved closer. The aliens could see that the ships were not just big. They were smart. They moved together like a school of fish, like they could read each other's minds. Incoming transmission. The communications officer said. Jinha's face appeared on the screen again. Behind him, the aliens could see a bridge that was beyond their understanding. Human and alien technology worked together in ways that should have been impossible. "Admiral Throck," Jinha said. "We meet again. You were supposed to be cleaning up garbage," Throck said. "We were," Jinha replied. "We cleaned it up so well that we turned it into this." He gestured around his bridge. "This is against all galactic law," Throck said. "You cannot build weapons without permission from the Council." "We did not build weapons," Jinha said. "We built tools. The fact that they can be weapons is not our fault. What do you want?" Throck asked. "We want to be left alone," Jinha said. "You sent us here to disappear. We disappeared, but we did not die. We became something new. The Council will never accept this," Throck said. "Then the Council has a problem," Jinha replied, on the bridge. Of the Indomitable, Harin was monitoring the alien ships. Their weapons were charging, their shields were powering up. They were getting ready to fight. "They are going to attack," she said. "I know," Jinha said. "Are we ready?" "We have been ready for years," Quan said. Jinha looked out at the alien fleet. There were hundreds of ships. Each one was powerful enough to destroy a planet. But they were all built by races that thought inside the box. They used their own technology and nothing else. The human ships were different. They used everything. Vorthak shields powered by hegemony engines, Krillian weapons controlled by Stellar Alliance computers. Each ship was a combination of the best technology from every race in the galaxy. "This is your last chance, Admiral," Throck said over the communication system. "Surrender now or we will destroy you." Jinha looked at his crew. They were humans who had been born in the scrapyard. They had grown up with alien technology. To them, the impossible was just another Tuesday. "Admiral," Jinha said, "you made one mistake." "What mistake?" "You taught us that the galaxy is full of people who throw away perfectly good things," Jinha said. "You just never thought about what would happen if someone came along who knew how to fix them." The communication ended. The battle was about to begin, and the aliens were about to learn what humans could do when they stopped playing by the rules. The battle began at exactly 14 o'clock Galactic Standard Time. Admiral Throck fired the first shot. A massive plasma beam shot from his flagship toward the Indomitable. It was the kind of weapon that could destroy a moon. The beam hit the human ship and disappeared. "What happened?" Throck shouted at his weapons officer. "Sir, their shields absorbed our plasma and redirected it back at us." The Indomitable had not just blocked the attack. It had eaten the energy and made itself stronger. The ship's hull glowed brighter, its weapons charged faster. The aliens had just fed power to their enemy. "All ships, open fire," Throck ordered. The alien fleet unleashed everything they had. Hundreds of ships fired at once. Laser beams, plasma cannons, quantum torpedoes, and gravity bombs filled space with deadly light. It was enough firepower to destroy a solar system. But the human ships were not where the weapons hit. Jinha stood on the bridge of the Indomitable and watched his enemies fire at empty space. The human fleet had moved before the aliens even pulled their triggers. They knew exactly where each shot would go. "How are we doing this?" Harin asked. She was watching her instruments with amazement. "The ships are connected," Quan explained. "All of them share the same computer network. They think together, they move together. They're like one big mind with many bodies." "That should be impossible," Harin said. "Everything we do should be impossible," Jinha replied. That is what makes us human. The Indomitable moved through the alien formation like a dancer. When Vortex ships fired their plasma cannons, the human ship absorbed the energy with Krillian bio-armor. When hegemony vessels launched missiles, the ship used Stellar Alliance shields to turn the weapons back on their creators, but the real terror for the aliens was not what the Indomitable could do. It was the realization that there were dozens of other human ships, and each one was just as impossible. A group of Krillian warships tried to surround one of the smaller human vessels. The human ship looked tiny compared to the alien monsters. But when the Krillians fired, their target split apart. No, not split apart. It had changed shape. The small human ship became 5 smaller ships, then 10, then 20. Each piece moved independently, but they all worked together. The Krillians found themselves surrounded by a swarm of tiny ships that hit like hammers. "This is not technology," one of the alien captains said over the radio. "This is magic. It is not magic," Jinha said. His voice was broadcast to every alien ship. "It is what happens when you give humans your garbage and tell them to make something useful." Admiral Throck watched his perfect battle plan fall apart. His ships were faster than the human vessels. His weapons were more powerful. His crews had centuries of experience. But none of that mattered. The humans fought like no one had ever seen. They used every trick, every advantage, every piece of technology they could find. When the aliens adapted to one strategy, the humans switched to 10 others. "Sir," his tactical officer said, "we have lost 30% of our fleet. How many human ships have we destroyed?" Throck asked. "None, sir, none. They keep repairing themselves during the battle. Their ships heal faster than we can damage them." Throck looked out at the battle. One of his heavy cruisers was fighting a human ship that was half its size. The alien ship fired everything it had. The human ship absorbed some attacks, dodged others, and reflected the rest back at the attacker. When the human ship did take damage, strange metal flowed across its hull like living skin, fixing the holes in seconds. "What are they made of?" He whispered God on the Indomitable. Jinha was asking his crew the same question about the aliens. "Their tactics have not changed in 1,000 years, Quan reported. "They form lines, they fire together, they try to overwhelm us with numbers. They think like they're computers," Harin added. "Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. They cannot adapt when something unexpected happens." "And everything we do is unexpected," Jinha said. He watched an alien battle group try to flank his formation. The aliens moved in perfect formation, just like their training manuals said they should. But the human ships scattered like leaves in the wind, regrouped behind the aliens, and attacked from 6 directions at once. The battle lasted 3 days. On the first day, the aliens thought they could win with superior numbers. On the second day, they realized they were fighting something they did not understand. On the third day, they knew they had lost. Admiral Throck's flagship was one of the last alien ships still fighting. Most of his fleet was either destroyed or fleeing. His own ship was badly damaged. But he refused to surrender. "All remaining ships," he broadcast, "form up on my position. We make our final stand here." 20 alien ships gathered around the Admiral's flagship. They were the best crews, the most advanced ships, the proudest warriors in the galaxy. They would not run from humans. The Indomitable approached them slowly. It was not alone. The entire human fleet surrounded the last alien defenders. But they did not attack immediately. Jinha opened a communication channel to Admiral Throck. "This is your last chance," Jinha said. "Leave now and do not come back." "Never," Throck replied. "We are the rulers of this galaxy. We will not bow to scavengers and garbage collectors." "We are not asking you to bow," Jinha said. "We are asking you to learn." "Learn what?" "That the galaxy is bigger than you thought? That there are other ways to do things? That the species you threw away might surprise you?" Throck looked around his bridge. His crew was young and old, from different alien races. All of them had one thing in common. They believed that some species were naturally superior to others. They believed that technology belonged to whoever invented it first. They believed that humans were weak because they were new. "We will never accept you as equals," Throck said. Jin-Ha sighed. "Then you will never understand what you lost today." The human fleet opened fire. It was over in 10 minutes. The remaining alien ships were not destroyed. They were disabled, their weapons were gone, their engines were dead. But their crews were alive. "Why did you not kill us?" Throck asked. "Because we are not you," Jin-Ha replied. "We do not destroy things just because we can." The human ships began to leave. They moved back toward their space station, their impossible fortress built from alien garbage. But before they disappeared, Jin-Ha sent one final message to the defeated fleet. "Tell the Galactic Council what you saw here," he said. "Tell them that the humans they tried to bury are still alive. Tell them that we have learned to turn their trash into treasure. And tell them that if they leave us alone, we will leave them alone." "And if they do not?" Throck asked. Jin-Ha smiled. It was not a cruel smile, but it was not gentle either. "Then they will discover what else we can build from scrap." Years later, when historians tried to understand how humans had won the Battle of the Scrapyard, they focused on technology and tactics. They studied the impossible ships and the revolutionary strategies, but they missed the most important thing. Humans had won because they refused to accept that something could not be done. The aliens had given them limitations. Humans had turned those limitations into advantages. The aliens had tried to bury them. Humans had used the burial ground to build a fortress. The galaxy had forgotten humanity's name. But now they would never forget the lesson humans taught them. Never underestimate the species that sees opportunity in every obstacle, that finds treasure in every trash pile, and that turns every ending into a new beginning. The humans had been given scrap. They had built the most feared fleet in the galaxy. And they were just getting started.